Welcome to Key Conversations, a Making It in the Music Business podcast. My goal for this podcast is to help you learn from these conversations with both experts and working musicians and serve as a guide to assist your career in the process. I'm your host, Cheryl B. Engelhardt. Let's get going.
I'm a lucky duck because today at the, the DIY conference in Nashville, I was able to steal this guy, Tom Jackson, who is the king of the live show. So thank you for taking time to do this with me.
Happy to do it. Very happy.
So for anyone that doesn't know you, which they should, can you give us like the nutshell sort of career highlights that got you to be the king of the live show?
Wow, the career highlights.
Yeah.
No, it's been a process.
Yeah.
And if you have any Canadian artists, it's a process. It's been a process of working with multiple artists. I've probably worked on 200-300 shows.
Wow.
Over the years.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Everything from small indies to big stars.
Big stars. Can you name a couple?
I can name a few.
Okay.
The one that Taylor Swift.
Heard of her.
Shawn Mendes.
Heard of him.
Van Perry, Lecrae.
Yep. Pretty cool.
Yeah, and many, many more.
It's awesome. I try really hard to not ever interview people that have better hair than me, but I am making an exception today. And we're going to be laser because we've got a lot of stuff to do here. So I'm just going to dig in with Tom and ask some questions. What are the biggest mistakes that you see when you get in a room with a singer-songwriter? Not a band. I'll get to that later. What's the biggest mistake you see?
They think just the words in their song and their voice is going to carry an entire show.
What should carry the entire show?
Well, the question here really comes down to is what does the audience pay attention to? That's what I specialize in is not what does the artist pay attention to, not what does the other singers-songwriters in the room pay attention to. If you want to make a career out of this or a vocation, what does the audience pay attention to? And they pay attention. So let's look at what they have on stage. They have words, which is good.
Yep.
I love words.
Love words.
I love voice. But everyone doesn't have an amazing voice.
True.
Just say Bob Dylan.
Yeah.
We have music. We have melody.
Yeah.
We have dynamics. We have arrangement. In other words, so many people can barely get through on their instrument. They're not great on their instrument, but they've got great voice and nice songs.
Yep.
But after 3 songs, those songs all start sounding the same because there's no dynamics, the arrangements aren't right, there's no moments in the show. Also, you have to arrange your songs so the personality of the artist comes out, because people come to see people, not just hear songs.
Oh, people come to see people.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah.
That's some golden nuggets right there. Before we move on, you have a book.
I do.
That's fantastic. Where can people find it before we go on?
OnStageSuccess.com.
OnStageSuccess.com. That will be in the show notes.
And, just go to the product page, and I've got a bunch of products, but I would start with the book.
Yeah.
It's 400 and some pages.
Yep.
It's not cheap, but here's my whole point, because it's in colleges and stuff, but it's an investment. Artists need to start thinking investment instead of
cost.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because here's the deal. If the book, and it will, if they use it, sells, it's $99, folks.
Right.
But if you sell your CDs for $10, and that book helps you sell 10 more CDs in your life, you've broken even.
It's like, duh, guys, duh, is what we say. That's how.
Is that what we say?
Duh. Duh, that's what we say in New York. Duh.
Duh.
No brainer.
I was born in New York.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I can tell you got a little
Yeah.
New York.
Yeah.
Something. What about with bands? With any same problems with bands, or is there anything that's slightly different?
No, well, conceptually, here's the beautiful part about what I teach. Is conceptually, it doesn't matter whether it's a singer-songwriter or a band, it doesn't matter what style.
Yep.
Now, that sounds generic, but it's not. It's like making a record.
Sure.
You need certain things make a great record. I don't care if it's a pop record, a blues record, a hip-hop record, or a whatever record.
Yep.
Certain things, song, emotion, tones, et cetera, that go into making a great record. That's why somebody like Chris Lord-Alge can mix multiple styles of music because he understands conceptually what he's going for. It's the same thing with a live show.
Yeah.
What are the biggest? There's a bunch of mistakes. I'll tell you the first mistake is the person that's watching this thinks that the show's already good enough. Because, seriously.
My show's terrible.
Seriously. Oh, no.
Never get behind a piano. I never step out from behind the piano. Like, I know all of the things that are wrong, and it's still like, but how do I fix it? I know.
Well, and that sounds arrogant, but you really what you're trying to do is, if you're going to make a vocation, and I just heard it yesterday, 88% of your revenue comes from your live show, and it's the last thing you spend time working on. So, we do everything else. We go get our website and we get it all together. We do our social networking. We get our pictures taken. We get our bio done. We go into the recording studio. We do all these other things. And then we go out, we rehearse for a couple days to learn the songs.
Right.
And then we go out on stage and wing it.
Yeah.
Winging it is different than spontaneity.
Oh, love that.
Totally different animal.
Yeah.
So one of some of the things that bands do, and not just the bands, singer-songwriters, your songs don't sound the same, but they all look the same. So
why would you have them look the same if they don't sound the same?
you wouldn't do that with lights, would you? You wouldn't light each song the same. No, you would change the lighting depending on the kind of song it is. If it's rockin', we'd have exciting lights. If it's tender, we'd have beautiful lights.
Yeah.
But in terms of what we do on stage, we do the same thing almost all the time. So here's the problem with that. Communication is 55% what the audience sees with their eyes. If they see the same thing over and over and over again, they check out.
Yeah.
They check out.
Yeah.
Why? Well, because they don't know you.
Yeah.
So here they are hearing 3 songs, and after 3 songs they're going, I got them figured out.
Yeah.
But you have to keep them engaged. And it's not a dog and pony show, and it's not movement. People think what I'm doing is the king of performance.
I gave him that title.
Is move people around stage. The first thing I do is work on the arrangement of the song. Arrangements for radio. When you're writing songs, folks, you're writing in the back of your mind, a lot of you, radio. If I could just get this on radio or on Spotify. So we have these rules.
Yeah.
They have to be certain amount, it's intro, verse, chorus, bridge, chorus, 3.5 minutes, and we're out. Now that's a broad stroke, and I get it.
Right.
But for the sake of time. So that's a commercial. You think about this. That song really is a commercial. If people hear it, they want to go see your live show.
Yeah.
But the problem is this. You play that song that should be on the radio, that's made for the radio, live,
Yep.
and it's wrong.
And it's totally wrong, yeah.
Yeah.
I wrote a record just for sync licensing, and I knew that stuff was not going to translate without a lot of change to the stage. But my second record I wrote specifically to tour with, and there are guitar solos and piano things, and there's a lot of, they're 5-minute songs, and there's one song on there that's like a pop radio song, and the rest of the album is like, we had toured first and then recorded the album, and I was like, let's just record how we did the tour. Like, let's just do one album.
To me, I love that.
Yeah.
To me, I love that. In fact, I recommend oftentimes make 3 songs radio friendly and extend the others, expand on them, because people don't just like songs.
Yeah.
They like music. They're looking for moments. That's the whole deal. Moments. If you do this live, if you create moments instead of play songs and wing it, your merchandise sales will go up.
Yeah, especially if you let people know that you have merch and an email list. That's my little shtick. You have to say that those things exist.
Every artist I've worked with, their merchandise sales have jumped.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And sometimes
without changing what the merch
1,000. No, not.
Yeah.
All we did was change. We didn't even change the songs. What we did was we developed moments out of those songs instead of played songs. We found the cool rhythms. We found the cool vocals. We found the words. We directed the audience's attention to what's important in the song, just like when you're doing a mix.
Yeah.
But instead, most people just play their songs, hope something good happens. And the problem is this. Every once in a while, this is actually a problem. Every once in a while, it's magic. The planets align. Everything comes together, and you're thinking, yeah, we got this. And then the next night you go out and do the same thing, and it doesn't work.
Yeah.
And you don't know why.
Yeah.
I know why.
I believe that you know why. Another idea that I had, so my fourth record was all duets. So anytime I want to do it live, I would have to find, even if the person that was on the record, was in LA and I was playing in New York, I would have to find someone to come bring on stage. Is there like a collaboration level? Like, how do you change it up if it's not just all about movement? What are that was my fix to try to make it look more interesting. I'll bring other people on stage.
Well,
but what are some of those?
People like relationships. In fact, I have a T-shirt that I get hammered with, and I probably will. No emails, please.
I like this quote, and I'm okay with it. And you all know I'm like a
is?
hardcore feminist. I know what you're about to say.
All right.
Yeah, go for it.
Guys like guitar riffs. Girls like relationships. And
watching on stage.
On stage.
Yeah, on stage.
Yep.
So girls like to see the relationship between the lead singer and the guitarist.
Exactly. While the guys are watching what they're playing and the riffing, the girls are like, "Oh, I like that," and it sounds sexist or whatever. It is what it is. And
I can go with that.
And you can expand your audience that way too. Why do you think you go to a metal concert? It's 95% guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the guys just stand up there doing their thing, and it's like after a while you're like, yeah, whatever. Unless you're a guy going, boo.
Yeah, you're.
But then why do guys not want to go to see Meryl Streep movies? Because it makes them cry. And
emotions, and we can't handle our emotions.
Yes,
you can't handle the truth, right? Yeah. So tell me how much the in between song stuff matters.
It does.
The banter and what to do when you're like. I mean, I know the number one thing not to do is be like, and the next song is about it. Like, people hate that. And I love Sarah Bareilles, who is very funny, and she does tell about her songs, but in a storytelling, authentic.
Storytelling is, everyone loves a story.
Yep, great.
And everyone's not great verbally.
Yeah.
You seem to be good verbally.
I have some words.
Yeah, I have some words.
I have some words.
But even if you're not good verbally, there's cheating. Here's the simplest cheat: is lay down a bed of music or a groove and talk over it instead of standing there naked going, hi, this next song I wrote when I was depressed. It's called this.
Oh my God. It sounds too real. It sounds so real.
I hope you like it.
Yeah.
There's a final thing. I hope you like it.
Wow. Oh my God, you guys are listening and you're like, that's me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me. All right.
This can be fixed.
Yeah.
It can be fixed.
Amazing.
See, going from bad to good, easy.
Easy.
Good to great, a bunch of little things.
Yeah.
And the difference is massive in merchandise sales.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I just worked with a group, a rock band in Utah, and actually, before they worked with me, they bought the book and the DVDs and spent literally a year working on them because it's a process.
Sure.
Canadians process. And their merchandise, they told me, I didn't say a word, I didn't fish for it. Their merchandise went from about a little over $100 a night to a little over $1,000 a night. Same songs,
wow.
Just creating moments out of those songs instead. And I'll just put this in. You're not going to believe it, but for whatever it's worth. When I first worked with Miss Swift, her merchandise went up 600%.
That is good.
Yeah, I just wish I would have got a point on that merchandise.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. We
not the best businessman, but that's life.
That's okay. We all have our strengths.
Yeah.
Yours is clearly your hair. So that's fine. So
that's
what
the
about,
obvious.
That's the obvious one, and we're learning about We're learning about the other ones. Or do we want? No. Let's not go there.
No.
Okay. So next question I had for you before we get into my laser round at the end. The order, the big picture of the set. Is there an arc or storytelling, or is it really just about the singular moments and it doesn't even matter?
No. There's a psychology.
There is. Okay.
Yeah. How do you like to greet?
I know
How
that.
do you like to be greeted? How do you like to leave people?
Yeah.
Why do we have milk at the back of a grocery store? There's a psychology to it.
You have to go through.
You have to go through the store to get to it because then they'll buy stuff on the way out. There's a whole psychology of when to bring what.
What's the milk?
How about a restaurant?
What's the milk? Is it like your fast song? What's the milk?
No. Oh, I see what you're saying.
I want the analogy to develop a little bit more because I really like it.
No, I'm just saying there's a psychology. Let's say let me use another example. A restaurant.
Okay.
Here's
a
huge mistake. Here's a huge mistake. How many times have you ever been to a concert or multiple artists or whatever. And somebody goes, ladies and how about this? You're going to see somebody that's important, whatever,
Yeah.
And the promoter comes out and says, have we got a treat for you?
Okay.
And I'm like, no treats, please. But it's somebody's cousin, somebody's, and they go, so will you give it up for, Susie Smith? And Susie Smith comes out with a lot of energy and goes, come on, everybody, get up and put your hands together. And I'm thinking, no.
I want the other. I want what I came for.
Yeah.
Which
well,
is
not only
you.
that, you're asking me to do something that I don't even know you. Now, do I want to stand up and put my hands together that evening in the concert? You bet.
Yeah.
But it's the wrong place, the wrong time. So what we have to do is understand, how do we greet people with an opening moment?
Yeah.
For example, your first song. Now, this is a broad stroke.
Sure.
Because everyone's a little different depending on the situation. But should be up, not too high. Should not be your best song. I mean, unless you're playing one song. But if you're playing a show, 45 minutes an hour, first song, up, should be short, should be easy for you to play and sing. People should be able to see you. The lyrics should be to people. We should put a trash can ending on it. Down, down. If we can, why? Now, some of you are going, well, we can't do that, man. It's not artistic. Screw artistic right at that moment. What you're doing at that moment is telling the audience, clap. And so it depends. If 3 people do this, at least you know you're in trouble. If they give you a standing, you know where you're at. It's put in there so you can listen to your audience to see where you're at. Right. You're dating your audience. Let's say you get in the car. You're married, I'm married, but let's pretend we're not. You get in the car, and I say, well, no, how about this? We're meeting right here, and I say, gee, I sure like baseball. And now you know what I'm saying to you. You're going, okay, I hate this guy, but I really like baseball. And you're going to say, I don't like baseball.
Yeah.
Or if you really, really want to,
Yeah.
even if you don't like baseball, you go, yeah, I'd like to learn about baseball. So the point is, I'm throwing out a hook with that trash can so that I can get a response and I can intentionally listen to it. And there's all those through the night. So there's verbal and nonverbal signals, musical signals sending out to an audience every night. And you don't even know you're talking over where you should be listening to your audience.
Oh, I love this. Listening. You
Listening
guys know
to your audience.
Communication is my shtick, so
Well,
I'm
one.
in like a happy place right now.
Here's one. Let's say you're a vocalist, and you got this thing that goes, yeah, boom. What does the audience do? Woo!
Yeah.
You put it in there intentionally.
Yeah.
So if 2 people go, woo, but if the whole audience is like, yeah, you've got them.
Yeah.
So you write in your song certain things so that you know how to listen to your audience. But you got to do it at the right time. You don't walk in the restaurant, the person walks up to you and goes, hi, what would you like for dessert?
Right.
No, there's a process that makes sense psychologically.
Yeah. And so when you do lose those, when you hear the only 2 people doing that, how do you fix that energetically throughout the rest of the show? And you're like, okay, there's something to do here.
I'd fix it in rehearsal.
Got it.
And I make sure that I'm playing in a place. Sometimes we want to play so badly that we take wrong gigs.
Yeah. Yep. Sometimes they take wrong gigs just because they pay well, like casinos. Worst gigs ever. No one's listening to you, but you know what?
Well, as long as you know that.
Yes.
Well,
yeah, it's a choice.
And not only that, you still could work on some things.
Yep.
So
one of the best feedback loops I did was playing in Faneuil Hall in Boston. They have a street performer you audition, and I learned so quickly which songs had people stop in their tracks, stay and listen, which were different than the songs that had people put money in a tip jar or grab a CD, which were different from the songs that people just kept walking by, or when the crowd started to disperse. It was
You're a smart girl.
Such a major learning experience. 2 to 3 hours every weekend, every month, 1 weekend a month. I would drive from New York City to Boston, and I would make a couple $100 in the tips. But the biggest thing was, oh wow, that song is not as great as I thought it was. Yeah.
No, there's really testing grounds.
Yeah.
So
what are some other testing grounds? We'll get into our laser round now in our last minute.
But I will say this: be encouraged. It's actually in some ways easier to do a major show because we will rehearse a song anywhere from 5 to 12 hours. I worked with one song 9 days.
One song?
Yeah, one song, because it became a 4.5-minute song on radio, and it turned into a 13-minute piece.
Wow.
And it worked for years and years and years and years
Very
and years.
cool.
But it's easier to do a big live show with stage and lighting and all that stuff because
Sure.
you do the same thing conceptually every night. The stage is the same size.
Right.
The lighting is the same size. You got to go do this. You got to go do this. You got to go this. So it's a little harder. That's why, I'm not trying to push the book, but if you understand concepts, you can make the adjustments.
Sure.
But if you just have to go there, that's not what I do. I mean, we do that. Let's try in a major show because there's a reason for it.
Sure. Yeah, this book, you guys, just go to the show notes. The links will be there. Go get it. Period. End of story. Bye.
I want to say one more thing before your laser thing.
Yeah.
If you're an artist playing 30 or more shows, I also have worked with charities for over 20 years that help artists with tour support. And so it's a win-win situation where kids' lives are changed, or we bring medicine to people, or we rescue child soldiers, or orphans get helped, clean water, blah, 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 blah. I got 6 charities I work with. And they help the artist financially because they're helping the charity and the kids.
Yeah.
And we've done this for 20-some years, and we work with major tours, but we also do many independent artists.
That's amazing.
Yep.
So,
And you can go to livemusicgives.com and find out about that.
Perfect. I was just going to say, if that on your website or Live Music Gives, and then your website is
onstagesuccess.com.
All of this stuff will be in the show notes, but don't walk to those places. All right. Last laser things. If someone could change only one thing of their live show, what would it be?
Ooh. Create moments.
Create moments. Okay. Number one thing that a band should do in a rehearsal together that they're most likely not doing.
After you learn the songs, set up like a stage.
Set up like a stage.
And then rearrange the songs for live.
Got it. And the number one thing they should do when they're writing the song, the songwriter should do when they're writing the song with live in mind, that they're probably not doing.
Ooh. Think about leaving some space for your personality in the song. You know, lay on the one, hang out there. You know, it's like, back to that relationship thing, if the guitar player and the singer are doing something together, develop that, and let's see the personality come out. You know, one of the artists a few of the artists I worked with, we intentionally have, even though they're married or got boyfriends, but on stage it's a different animal.
Sure.
And the relationship thing was going on, and you could see in the social networking, are they going out? Are they an article?
Buzz.
You know, but going on underneath it. There's subtexts instead of just in your face all the time.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Anything that I haven't asked that you would want to say that we haven't hit on?
All I want to say is I really want you to succeed. And no, seriously.
Yeah.
There's nothing better when, you know, at this event people come up and say, oh my gosh, I'm now doing this full time because I did this, and this, and you changed my life. That's it. But no, I got 30 hours of this material.
Yeah, I believe you.
Yeah.
Thank you for giving us a very small fraction of it. I really appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Please don't forget to rate, like, and subscribe on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, and YouTube if you like this podcast. Musicians like you keep me inspired and motivated, and for doing that, I'm offering you my Mastering Email 12-page workbook. It's packed with valuable exercises and information to get clear on implementing and mastering your email list strategy. This will help you figure out the best kind of platform for your specific goals, including a 7-step process to build, grow, engage, and monetize your list, all while feeling authentic and on brand with your music. Get your Mastering Email workbook at inthekey.co/masteringemail. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you next time on Key Conversations. The theme song on this podcast was provided by yours truly. If you're interested to find out more about my composing and songwriting projects, go to inthekey.co/Cheryl. If you're a musician looking to get some real results for your music career, then head to inthekey.co/results, where I've created a bunch of different kinds of resources just for you. Key Conversations is sponsored in part by Bandzoogle. They make it easy to build a beautiful website for your music. Their step-by-step system gets you online in minutes, and you can choose from hundreds of mobile-friendly themes and customize them with their point-and-click editor. All of the features you can imagine for a possible website are built in. So, because you're a Key Conversations podcast listener, you get a special month free trial plus 15% off if you do decide to sign up, just for you. Go to inthekey.co/make-a-site to get the offer.
You'll find something